Well, it is certainly a winter wonderland out here right now. Um, we did have snow cover before this last snowstorm came through, but it was relatively shallow. We probably had, maybe 4 or 5 inches of snow on the ground. We had 2 days of considerable snow. The first day actually didn't amount to a whole lot, maybe about 3 inches or so. The second day ended up being, I don't know how many inches, but I know when I was walking through to get to the garage to get the tractor and snowblower out, the snow was up to my knees. And I'm not that tall a person, but I gotta believe that there was a foot of snow there anyway. So I would say that the total amount of snowfall for those 2 days was probably in the neighborhood of about 15 inches. Now, 15 inches of snow, most of the time, is not a big deal. And it takes some time to clean it up and whatever, but the problem with this is that the temperature has hovered right around 30 to 33 degrees over this time, and so what we have is a heavy, wet snow. It made it really difficult in order to clean up. The snowblower worked for a while until the snow would ball up in front of it and just plain stopped it dead. The tractor, even with chains and weighted wheels, would just sit and spin because the layer below it was so slippery and the snow so heavy it just didn't want to push. So I started about 9 o'clock yesterday morning and worked pretty steady until about 3 in the afternoon to finally get the driveway cleared out so that we could get in and out. So it's been a tough couple of days. Now it's going to get cold. We're talking about some days over the next week that will barely get above zero during the day and into the double digits below zero at night. So all of this stuff is going to harden up just like concrete. It's going to set the snowbanks where they are. It's going to be real tough to deal with that. So it's going to be, being that it's the first or middle of December, depending how the rest of the winter goes, finding a place to put all the snow is going to be a little tough. So we'll just have to cross our fingers on that one. There aren't very many year-round residents on our road anymore. This is one of the neighbor ladies here, an elderly lady. Had some help as far as getting a snowblower over here to get the path cleared up and down the hill. The problem right now is that even though the snow has been knocked down, the underlying path here is really slippery. So until we get some cold weather to firm that up, it's going to be kind of treacherous moving. Many of the people that have places here along the road are people that come up from different parts of the state and will spend a day here and a weekend there, and maybe some more extended stays in the summertime. But right now, even though they usually have their driveways plowed regularly during the winter, the people that do the plowing are way behind as far as catching up, and it's difficult plowing, even with plow rigs. Unless you are a dump truck with a load of gravel in the back or a load of sand in the back and a lot of power, it's tough to move this snow. So it's going to be a while before everybody's back to where they should be. Fortunately, knock on wood, our precipitation, although it was wet and heavy, was snow. We didn't have any sleet as such, and consequently didn't have a lot of limb breakage on trees, didn't have a lot of power lines that had a lot of ice on them, and so we did not end up having the power outages up here like they had in some other parts of the state. So as I said, knock on wood, there's always the potential for that to happen this time of year, so we may not be completely out of the woods yet. Again, for those of you that don't know where this is coming from, this is northern Minnesota. We're between Ely and Babbitt. What ended up happening in this storm is the first day there was a lot of snow that fell, but it seemed to fall all around us. The second day we kind of kept up with a lot of the people in the neighboring and surrounding communities. I know south of us they got a lot more the first day. East of us they probably got a lot more than us both days. And west of us, at least for a little ways towards International Falls and whatever, they were probably in the same boat as we were. So it's not what we've had typically in early December over the last several years. We'll get some snow, but this is a little more than what we're used to. You can see here where I tried to push the snow. The little bit of snow we had before, I had made snowbanks quite a ways back so that I'd have room to put snow as the winter progressed. But the snow was so heavy that this is the best I could do yesterday as far as moving this towards where I originally had those snowbanks. Unfortunately, what's going to happen now, when it turns colder, these are going to be like blocks of concrete in here, and instead of having that much room the rest of the winter, I'm going to have this much room the rest of the winter. So hopefully we can get by where I can, between the tractor and the snowblower, be able to find a place to put all this. Otherwise we'll be hiring somebody later in the winter to come in with a bucket and pick up snow and move snowbanks.